Ride the Wild Horse. But before I forget and finish my thought, any questions about embracing horse that we talked about Tuesday? No? Clear as mud? Got it down? Nailed? All right. So, I'm going to read this. There's a lot of words, so it may not time up with how you do your Ride the Wild Horse. So just do a few, on your own pace, and just kind of allocate some ear space as I read it. You pick whichever stance you like. Stand in the neutral position with the feet placed parallel and spaced narrower than shoulder width. So this would be middle stance for his example. Turn the toes in slightly and spread the knees apart, focusing body weight on the heels and outer edges of the feet. With the head still suspended, inhale slowly and deeply from the diaphragm while pulling the arms backwards and raising them up in a slow circular motion, stretching them as far as possible as to open the shoulder joints. Stop when the arms are parallel overhead. Complete the inhalation simultaneously. So it's like a timed thing. It's like inhale, and you shouldn't like be up here and finishing your inhale. You time it together. The hands should not touch each other. The arms and fingers should stretch upwards as if being pulled from above by the fingertips. Exhale slowly, tuck in the pelvis and bend the knees as you slowly sink down. So it's a sink more than a bend. It's important to maintain the tucked in position of the pelvis throughout this exercise. Extend the arms and the hands outward in front of you as far as possible as you settle into a squatting position with the knees spread apart. Hold this lowest position for up to 5 seconds as you continue to slowly complete your exhale. Lower the body only as far as possible without discomfort. The arms and fingers should stretch forward. Maintain the tucked in position of the pelvis. The legs should be somewhat bowed with most of the weight on the heels and outer edges of the feet. Refer to the side views, which I will show you momentarily. Inhale slowly, keeping the pelvis tucked in, and push down on the heels to raise the body up. So that's an important thing. It's you push down to start that upward movement. Extending the arms as far as possible in front of the body, raise them up gradually until you are standing and they are parallel overhead. Complete the inhale when your arms stop. Exhale slowly as you lower the arms back downward into a slow circular motion, stretching them out and back as much as possible until they're at your sides. The shoulders should be relaxed and kept lowered as the arms are stretched back. Complete the exhale as your arms reach to your sides. From the starting position, repeat from form 1 to 5 times. The duration from the beginning to the squatting position should take 15 to 20 seconds, and the reversal should be about the same. So it should take about 30 to 40 seconds down and up. The additional emphasis on tucking in the pelvis for this exercise assures that the knees can be spread apart. Otherwise, improper stress on the knees can result in injury. Many avoid the traditional deep knee bends of calisthenics due to misunderstanding of the correct technique described here. Huge caveat, listen to your body. Every body is different. If you've got altered joints or arthritic joints, this alignment will help you, but don't be a hero if you're listen to it. Okay, so you want to look at his pictures, his picture time? If I could go back in time, I would coach him not to wear a solid black leotard and black and white pictures because it makes it kind of difficult to see what his actual body parts are doing with his hips and whatnot. But I think the side view is most informative.
His butt's really low.
Yeah, well, it is CK2. Yeah, he's pretty far down there. But he's not bending. So you see how it's proportional?
Yes.
Upwards, middle, low. He's not, it's a very common thing to end up sort of half squatting and bending, and that's not it. So I'm going to leave this here, and then I'm going to do a couple very vulnerable side views so that any mistake I make for that camera, it's recorded in perpetuity. In perpetuity, that's the word. Okay. First things first, I know he says start the tuck when you start moving. I just have embodied the habit of thinking about it now. Even if it's not really attainable, I'm thinking it. It helps me root, it helps me automatically keep my knees rounded out, head suspended. suspended, keep my shoulders down. And he says reach backwards, but remember, we're not trying to break our Tai Chi posture, so I'm not going backwards so much that I pop my chest forward. This is about stretching my shoulder joint, so I'm still going to keep that rounded connected, even if I reach backwards. You see how that works, where they're backwards, but I'm not popping my chest. So back, and I inhale. Exhale. Trying to keep my knees rounded out. Trying to keep my feet from moving. I'm going to push with my heels. Start my inhale. See it again. See anything different or helpful?
I didn't hear him say anything about leaning into these.
No, that's kind of become our way of helping to explain how to get into that posture. It helps with that weight distribution. So like, because otherwise you could just squat. For some reason, we've adapted that language because it helps keep that emphasis of where your feet should be and you round out. Otherwise, I could just squat. I can just do like a gym squat, which is what we're trying to sneak out of a little bit. So that's kind of added. The old copy that we had, that Master Gohring took notes when he actually took these workshops with CK2, full of Master Gohring writings to the side. The binding is like blown and the pages are torn out. So Mr. Courtney gifted us with a new, not tattered copy that we can read from. But I would show you all the little extra secret sauce. So, questions? Racing horse. So why don't you, not racing horse, ride the wild horse. Everybody just do one or two and I'll come by, and if there's anything that I can help or adjust, I will do that. So whichever stance you prefer. Stay head suspended and sink, don't bend. There's a little bending, but don't overbend. There you go. That's proportional to the way we
I got you.
Uh-huh.
That's much more like the book, too.
It is more like the yes. Don't fall. There you go. There you go. So the lower your knees bend will create more of that forward reach. But it's kind of like this, I can describe it like a clamshell. Like if the fold is lined up with how much knee bend there is. Difficult concept. 30 seconds. So just here, it looks like you have a little anterior pelvic tilt.
Okay.
Just a little of that. So.
I think it's anticipation.
You can sit up a little bit more based on where, there you go. That was
That
correct.
feels better.
That was correct with the level of bend you have in your
That
knee.
feels better. I felt like I was trying to get level with a small, and it did feel.
Good, Mr. Watkins. Yeah.
Yeah, so that, when you get into that position, you just lower yourself down.
Yes.
There's no
There is,
extra.
yeah, and there is a fold. So, because it would put weird, in fact, I can't do it, my knees won't let me. But if I try to sit straight up and sink down into my operated on surgical knees, no, it's no go. I can't do it without supporting myself on my hands. So, you know, as I get down here, this doesn't work. That starts to hurt, so there's that fold. So, but I'm not here, right? I'm here. It's a proportional. So it isn't I stay straight and then lean at the end. It's a gradual, like, depending on how low I'm able to go with my knees. Yeah, this posture is proof in the pudding about knee alignment, because, like I said, if you just told me to squat straight down and sit, you know, and kind of crouch down, I can't. But if I do it this way, obviously I can get all the way down to the ground. So the alignment has a lot to do with it. Any last questions about it before we bow out?
So you
Relax
should
that
feel,
thing?
as you're going down, you should feel it all like the heel.
Heel and outside edges, yes, definitely.
I guess what's really weird enough, I was on that.
Right, and so the tipping forward for me helps me, like, oh, on my way to my front, shift it back. So does that make sense? It gives me that opportunity to identify where the weight is in my feet. And then, whoop, right about there. There it is. Yes, that looks excellent.
And your head should be.
It should be in line with your shoulders. So my head, that's a great question. So where is the head suspended means my head is going to stay suspended regardless of the angle of my torso. So what I wouldn't do is this as I'm coming down. So your eyes are not always going to be facing forward. As I come down, I keep my head in alignment with my body. So my gaze is kind of here. I could use my eyes and look up. That feels a little strenuous even. So this feels about right. But I don't want to do this.
Okay. Because we can, you know, when watching, we're like.
Absolutely, of course. But, you know, the concept of head suspended is not always towards the sky. It's in alignment with where your body is. Good question. All right, let's go ahead and bow out. I'm going to do the life skills towards the camera. I had some requests for that. Caveat, me facing backwards, facing different people, it might get messed up. But let's see. So, snake, the path of self-mastery requires persistent action. I'm going to close my eyes, I'll get it right then. Persistent action. Step back with the left, come in with the right hand up, left hand by my elbow. Persistent action, I'm going to do a ball change, switch my feet. Step out with the left. Achieves a goal without quitting. It's up to you how many of these you do. It's just the feet is the biggest part. All right, so path of self-mastery requires persistent action. Persistent action, step with the left, come in with the right. Ball change, achieves a goal without quitting. One more time. The path of self-mastery requires persistent action. Persistent action achieves a goal without quitting.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. I know you will.
Head instructor.
Back to intermediate and beginner level students. Students at home, black sash training is dismissed. Good job, everybody.